Hi Mark here. It's Tuesday, April the 7th, 7:47 a.m. Eastern, 11:47 a.m. GMT. Your session about to get underway. Before I start on as always, the dollar index, I must I must tell you, I feel a certain nervousness in the market, an eerie feeling. Market seems to be waiting in anticipation of the 8 p.m. deadline, and that's in 12 hours from now, the 8 p.m. deadline that Trump has issued to Iran. I think he's painted himself into a corner here, leaving not many options. Number one option is that he extends the deadline at some point. Number two is that Iran shows some intent to de-escalate, open the Straits of Hormuz, as is uh, Trump's demands. And thirdly, US and Israel uh, launch an attack, a fiery attack, like Trump has been threatening against Iran at 8 p.m. tonight. So, in the lack of much data coming out tonight, the market today during the US session, there just seems to be a real stillness in anticipation, waiting for the 8 p.m. Deadline tonight to be reached. Strange feeling in the markets. Let me show you how we stand going into the US session. US dollar index pretty flat alongside yesterday's close. I've got support at 99.56. I've got resistance at the 100 level. Slight red candlestick for now, but I think more than anything else, that's because of the slight gap higher that we saw to open, and now sitting at that 99.78. We'll see how that plays out during the day. EMA is pretty flat as well. Buyers, of course, if there is demand for US dollar today, buyers will look to test this 100 level on the upside. Let's have a look at the S&P. And there you see a slight gap lower to open. That's futures trading. Moved lower a little. I've got support at 6608, 6608. I've got resistance at 6666. We'll see now that the US session's about to open, and Wall Street in about an hour and a half. We'll see whether demand for US equities yesterday had a solid day. We'll see if that continues, if buyers can get up to that 6,700, or if sellers dominate and look below the 6,600 level. Gold flat, second day in a row. There's the doji candlestick confirming indecision, lack of direction. I've got support at 4,607. I've got resistance at 4,701. There's the $100 range, same as yesterday. Back where it started so far today, we'll see if buyers do step in at any point, or if sellers perhaps uh, step in. But for now, going back 2 days, that bearish engulfing candle hasn't really played out. But then again, buyers haven't bounced back from this red candlestick, from the bearish signal, and sitting really flat right now in between the 4,600, 4,700, sitting at 4,657 going into the US session. Let's have a look at Brent oil. And there you see, sitting close to that $110 level, that new comfort zone for Brent oil right now. Buyers looking up at resistance, same as yesterday, 111.75. On the downside, I've got support at 107.37, but certainly relatively flat for now, waiting on news throughout the day. Any new statements from either side, be it from Iran, be it from the US. But the 8 p.m. deadline tonight, as I mentioned earlier, I think the market's sitting nervously waiting to see how that plays out, or if we get activity earlier in the day, or perhaps some rhetoric in the day, anything connecting to or anything in relation to uh, the upcoming deadline, Trump's 8 p.m. Eastern deadline tonight. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, very similar pattern, unable to maintain at that 70,000 level or above. Didn't even try the 70,000 today. Red candlestick. I've got support at 69.2 thousand. I've got support at 68,000. That's a pretty excuse me, tight range for now. We'll see whether we're in an uptrend. Can buyers bounce up off this support level and once again get to test that 70,000 on the upside, or sellers look to break below the 68,000, come back to the 66,000, that's strong support level. There we have a lower high, we have a lower low. We'll see how that plays out during the course of the US session. Good trading, keep that discipline today, and I will see you at the end of day session.